Oh my gosh, it's Sunday afternoons with me, and guess who's with us at the last minute? Psychic medium Lewis Maybe's joining us. It's gonna be fun. Oh, and I heard Debbie Tatel's coming too.
Now shut up, the show's starting.
Hey everybody, happy Sunday. How is everybody doing? Oh my God, look at that roll call. Angela's in from New Zealand. Nin the Flabbergasted is in. Carol Winter, Barbara DeBella, they're all here. So this music, Lewis said he was coming on today. He was actually at his mom's house, so I'm going to be bringing him in from somewhere in the Great White Tundra of Canada at his mother's house. So he's not at home in Toronto. But he goes, I like this music. And I'm like, okay, well, fine. This is going to be your music today. This LTD. Back in love again. Would you put your hands together and welcome Lewis Maybe to the show. There you go, Lewis.
Hi.
Let me turn your mic up there. I realized that when I did that, my applause was behind because it's on another. It's
on another track.
So anyway, are you ready for Sunday? Let's bring this down.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my gosh! Oi, there.
How's your week been?
My
hey, Barbara.
Week, hi, Janet.
Hi, Janet.
My week has been interesting, as you know, and Angela says hi, Lewis. Karen from Texas, there they are. Oh my gosh, everybody's tuning in. Here we go.
Nin, hello.
Nin's there. Nin was here. Nin was here the other day when Adir was on trip. Oh, and Nikki was on.
Darlings.
Well, you know what we did? You know how you did questions last Sunday?
Yep.
Well, Adir had his little cards, his tarot cards.
Yep.
So he just pulled a card for different people and was doing some readings and stuff. Hey, Ireland. Hi, Yvonne Lynch. Nice to see you over there. You're just talking with a couple of Gaelics over here across the pond.
When did you become a leprechaun?
Ever since I swallowed a box of Lucky Charms.
Swallowed what?
A box
of
Lucky Charms. But anyway, what a fun! Look at that. There's so many people in. I just love it. But my week was good. I'm still. We were talking about my predictions of things that were going to happen, and so we're going to figure that all out at some point. You still think good things are happening, except for everybody out there. I was going to talk to you all about this at one point today. So I had been dealing with the government on an SBA PPP loan, and trying to get assistance from the government on this loan. And I filed it. Are you ready for this? April 2020. Then they turned me down back in October, and Lewis said, appeal it. I was on a plane. Lewis goes, appeal it. So I did. So then, what happened was they wrote me last week. It looked like it was going through. And then the guy writes me the other day and says, nah, we're not giving it to you. And they specifically, which I found interesting, they specifically pointed out Crazy Aunt Susie's sex cast and politics is a drag.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the hell
did that was done?
That was done. That was over 2 years ago. And they said, well, you haven't had financial hardship because of the sex cast.
Right.
So I'm thinking that they looked up. Hold on. I'm here. I told you.
Hi, Linda.
Hold on. Come
Empress.
Here.
Talk a lot to talk caca.
He's making me get up out of it. Come here.
Jampers, come on.
There you go.
You have to hear my voice.
No, he did. He hears Lewis's voice and he comes straight in and wants to hang out. So anyway, I'm thinking that these stick up their butt people were trying to think that I did porn or something and not realizing it was a parody thing. And they actually brought out politics as a drag. I'm like, what the hell? That's so crazy. So anyway, You kept saying there's something else coming. There's something. There's stuff coming because I am going to start the Patreon thing, but we'll talk about that later. But let's see. Some people came in. Thank you, Carol. I love the shirt too. I got it on sale. Nina Galix. Yep, that's us. And Linda.
Linda.
Do you know Linda?
Toronto.
Yeah. And Champion.
We'll talk about the crazy energy later there, Linda.
Oh, really? There's some crazy energy?
Yeah.
Lewis, love and blessings from Ireland there to us. That's what started it all. Karen's in Texas. Yay. And Angie is in New Zealand. And Barbara and Janet are in California. They're in the valley. Hey, and there's Nissa Ray. How are you?
I hear it's freezing in Boston, Nikki.
Oh, look at this.
Hello, W. Brent.
Oh, Carol, what's it like in Minnesota? Anyway, Brent Sawyer. Hey, Brent, how are you? Howdy do to you. And Sherry Baker from Atlanta. Hey, Sherry. Hello from Atlanta, darling.
Isn't it called Hotlanta?
Hotlanta. It is. Look at her. She's so hot. Look at that. What a sexy blonde. So that she's putting the hot in it.
Well, we can only see a blue dot over her sexy blondness.
Anyway, so lots of crazy energy. I'm hiding at home. Okay, cold in Minnesota. So, okay, okay, wait a minute. Let me get this down here. Let me do this here. Okay, there. So, oh God. What's happening? Hold on. We are so global. Hey, John Rasmussen.
What else from the UK are you? London's my favorite city in the world.
It is.
Yeah.
When are you going?
June, but I don't know if I'm going at the beginning of June or the end of June. So I haven't figured that out yet.
It's okay. Well, Dr. Fauci was talking this morning, and they were talking about what the hell is it? Things you brought. We talked about this on the show last week. Yeah. Things starting to calm down a little bit. Yeah. The Omicron has peaked. And of course, they have this other variant that the news went, oh my God, there's another variant. And then they go, well, it's not as powerful. And it's like, shut the freak up, people. Yeah. They want to clickbait us and make us go, oh my God, it's another variant. Mm-hmm. And I just don't. Oh, hold on. How did I miss this? Empress, talk a lot of taka. Talk a lot of kaka. Talk a lot of taka. Empress, talk a lot of
kaka.
Oh, talk a lot of kaka.
Yes.
There you go, Empress. I do. Oh my God. And hey, Sharia Moore. Hey, Sharia Moore. What is this? Sloan is live, but you're watching. Oh my God, Sloan went on too. Sloan doesn't go on until 5 o'clock. She usually goes on at 5. It's okay. God bless her. At this point, there are many variants, just an extension. Yeah. Well, that's cool. So what is it? What is this energy in what is this energy you were talking about in Toronto?
No, it's actually global where, and it's even affected you with this whole thing that we started talking about with the paperwork and 2020 and, the whole thing where like people's friendships are falling apart, where a lot more people are shorter with people. No one has patience. And it's kind of like December 31st, January 1st. It was like almost everyone was given permission to express their view, but then live their viewpoints and there's no common sense right now. Everyone's on edge.
And January bitchiness.
Hallelujah, Nikki. And Nikki's right. It's you're going to be seeing come around Feb 10th that there's this beautiful shift of energy where you're going to be like, oh. Now that's not an instant, Margaritaville time, but you're definitely going to start to feel less pressure cooker and not feeling the need to blow off steam, but more so about, okay, let's get ourselves readjusted and then that's going to be where the 2022 year starts really on a positive note.
Right.
And so it's a little bit late to the party, but nonetheless, it is coming. And so this year for many of us and most of us, 2022 is going to be about getting speed and then accelerating and going past a bunch of personal finish lines. So this, from now until about the 10th-ish, please, please, please review all the things you want to accomplish. Focus on what you want to accomplish and don't do the don'ts. I don't want this. I don't want that to happen. Focus on what you want to happen, and then allow things to fall into place. And so it's you're going to be finding that it's a reset time. So
that's why for instance, I'm doing the Patreon account right now. I haven't launched it yet. And I was thinking I would launch it maybe on the 3rd when Mercury goes direct. I don't want to do it right now. I mean, it's like, I wouldn't want to launch it right now. Let me rephrase it. I'm doing my due diligence and putting what I want to happen.
Right.
And I'm making it work. Oh, thank you. Nisa goes, I'm staying here. We'll listen to Sloaney later. Well, Sloan's going to be on for 4 hours. I'll probably go over there and see her here. She's so funny. Or something's riled her up today. But no, Lewis, it's so weird. I've been sitting here all weekend going, I'm just going to put this together. I'm working on the graphics and putting it together, and then I'll release it. I haven't even, for instance, I really haven't even pushed the Valentine's videos, and I was kind of like going, I want to push them, but I figure I'll push them in a couple days. I still have time to do them. I don't know. I feel, even though I was a little freaked out over the PPP SBA thing, as I told you, I'm so damn calm.
Yes.
Like, really weird. And trust me, people, I'm not a millionaire by any means. I live, paycheck to paycheck like everybody else. I swear to God to you, you wouldn't believe it. But for some reason, I'm okay. I'm going to be fine. But the thing is that, so just to let you all know, I'm starting a Patreon account. I had one years ago and didn't do it, but Patreon is a way to support people in the arts. So what happens is you can give $1 every month, $5 every month, whatever you want to do. And it helps support me so I can constantly have shows like this. I can create videos and entertain you. And
and a lot of people don't realize that it costs a lot of money to bring what looks like a simple podcast to life, because in your instance, you have to pay for StreamYard, which is a connector to YouTube, Facebook, and different platforms, and it's not cheap.
No, so I pay that monthly, and then I pay Adobe, so they can have all of the editing equipment, and that's it's a few $100s a month. Putting the technical stuff to make this happen. This crazy ass dog of mine.
So give the bitch a tip if you can.
I know. So hold on, here we go. What is it? Nin said, so chaotic. One friend's dad died Wednesday. I had to talk another off the ledge. I have to get my transmission fixed.
I know.
Good news. Wow.
I was in what's today? Today's Sunday. Friday, get a phone call from a friend, and over the phone, like just couldn't
throw up.
Not literal throw up, but just verbal throw up.
Verbal throw up.
How frustrated he is, and then so I listened, of course, because that's what I do with friends, and good friends do that with me if I ever do that, And on Saturday, I was meeting up with my bookkeeper, and she just went boom, and she's like, "I just got to get out of here. Like, I am so done." And it's chaos, exactly, Nan. And I'm like, congratulations to your mom for not needing to have more therapy. So indeed, small miracles, and condolences to your friend whose dad passed away. And there's a lot of ledges with a lot of people on them. So
oh my God.
I know, and the healers, Nikki, always tend to be the ones that are the therapist. And it's because the empathic energy draws people towards us, because it's like, even if they can't tangibly read, they understand, their subconscious understands the energy that empaths have and intuitives have, and so we draw them like a moth to a flame.
Right.
And so just make sure, Nikki, that you're doing, and anyone else that's empathic or intuitive, to make sure that you're doing daily things to disconnect and disengage, and then reconnecting with your soul, your heart, and making sure that you feel good. I'm not a video game player by any means, but a few years ago I purchased a PS4, and there is one game that I do, and you build a city. I have been playing that a lot this year, and I'm someone that's always busy and needing something to do, but I really make sure, since the beginning of January, really, that I spent more hours on that game than I had probably last year altogether. So, but I'm not feeling guilty. I am just owning it, because that's exactly what needs to happen right now for me.
Oh my gosh.
And Angela, like, with you being in Australia and all the stuff that's going on with COVID again down there, of course that you're going to pick up energy left, right, and center. And it's going to feel like, those bug zappers, those ultraviolet bug zappers, that when a bug touches it, zzz,
Right.
That's what's going on right now. There's just a lot of zapping going on with people's energies.
And I just got a message from Virginia Pursley, Virginia.
Yep.
And she's a great terrorist. She goes, she was just looking at something. She was looking at things. She goes, I'm having a rough weekend. Coworker had to quit. Lots of shakeup due to it. I'm not having fun today. And I said, well, come watch us on YouTube. Lewis and I are on. So she's not going to come on camera, but she might pop in and listen. But it was just, crazy, crazy, crazy. But well, look at that. You are a good listener. You're a good listener. Always good advice. Yeah. And, Angela, there you go. I feel my energy, and my children feel the same. Yeah. It's I'm here with you.
You're a good multitasker, Deanna.
Look at that. You are a multitasker, Deanna. Hey, do me a favor. Tell Sloan, Michael, and Lewis say hello. Hold on. Now hold on. Okay. So Lewis is here. Guess who's popping into the show right now? The lovely Debbie Tatel, another incredible psychic, empath, medium. She's just everything. And let's bring her in right now. Here we go. There you are. Hey, look at you. Okay, I have to say something right now, Deb. Deb figured out her resolution on her keyboard. And she had been calling in, and what's going on?
Oh my God.
She'd been calling in. She was like going, I look terrible. I look like shit. And then she says,
I'm wavy.
I figured it out. She was on like low res something. Anyway, so look at you. You look great. You look great. Look at you. Good.
And I have the lighting, and I don't have braces, and I didn't blur my background. It's like.
Are you tuned in through wireless or direct cable?
Wireless.
Okay, that's why it's just to let you know, you'll lag every now and then. You'll freeze for a minute, but next time when you think about it, when you're doing these shows, but you're fine for right now. But what'll happen is, this happened with Ruta Lee when I had her on. She did her wireless. Remember when Ruta came on and she kept freezing? So you've just put your Ethernet cable into your computer or your laptop so that you will have a direct bandwidth.
So you don't lag.
I would then have to get an entire setup, because I'm on my Mac. So there's no plug-in.
Oh yeah, you would have to get an adapter thing to.
Well, you're fine, but I just noticed that was the first time that you kind of like you were lagging. But it's fine. How are you? We were just.
I'm good.
Did you? Hey, Jay Bota. There's so many great people on here. You all look beautiful. Look at that. Oh, thank you, Jay Bota.
See you later, Jay.
Everybody. So there they are. They're all saying hi to you.
Hi, Nan. Hi, Angela. Hi, Karen. Oh my gosh, everybody.
They're all here. Look at that. We are a good-looking trio. Look
hail. The gang's all here.
Hey. So we were just talking about the energy.
That's out there now.
Explain to Deb. I don't know if you heard any
the cray energy. Everyone wants to cut everyone's heads off without even,
Yeah.
And so, but as I was saying to the gang that's listening and watching, that wait around February 10th, and then it's going to start to shift for the much better. But right now it's just all about chaos and anarchy and opinions that don't matter, but yet they're going to voice them regardless.
January Insanity 2.0.
2.0, 0.3, 0.7, 0.5,
yeah. Well, and also, and I want to preface, I'm not an astrologer, but I look at the energy and then I kind of go and check the astrology because I'm always curious to see how that meshes in. And apparently Venus, I'm looking at the date, the 29th, Venus came out of retrograde yesterday.
Yeah.
And when I have been noticing, go ahead.
No, when Venus comes out of retrograde, it's like constipation.
Is that what I'm dealing with? I'm not regular. I'm not regular.
No. And also there's another really interesting aspect. Hi, Champers. That's what I was hoping for, right? My boys all here. All of you. So one of the attributes of Venus, and what I've been noticing, is that the feminine energy has taken a step up.
Yeah.
And so the male energy at that point goes crazy. Like, for the most part, those that don't have that balance of the masculine and the feminine within them, because that energy of we'll call it the patriarchy, is all about dominance and power. And unfortunately, we've gotten away from what power really is. Power is really being in your own space, owning
being authentic,
owning your energy, being authentic, being who you are. Unfortunately, it morphed over time, and I'm talking about millennium in time. What was that?
I was just saying bye to John.
And bye, John.
Okay.
But over time,
222.
there you go. 222. 222. Or there's a Jewish thing that is warding off the devil, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, when you did that,
it's a Greek thing for good luck.
And it's a Greek thing for good luck. Well, it wards away the bad luck.
Yeah.
So as the feminine steps up and the patriarchy experiences this illusion that they are losing power and dominance.
I love that word illusion, because that's what it is.
It is an illusion. And as they experience that, they experience it also within, and the chaos is fear. It's all the fear coming out, and the more people are afraid, it's like, look at this one. The more fear that is out there, the more chaotic it becomes. The more bite people's head off. I need to win, and that is all an ego power play. It's nothing about spirit. It's nothing about the divine. It's nothing. It's all about divide and conquer and power over things, and we must quash those who speak against us, or that, again, it's a perception, it's an illusion of speaking against, and it's nothing of the sort. It's this fear of losing whatever it is, ... just fill in the blank. That's when we get so angry.
Wow.
And luckily and thankfully, we're walking in a lot of what 2022 is going to be offering us is learning and understand patience. And that's on multiple levels of understanding patience, is understanding patience from within, but understanding patience on a universal time level and not human time. And then the acceptance of it and the understanding of it as well is also about being present and learning how to stay focused on the here and the now so that we can get our goals accomplished and set ourselves up for success. But through that, and you said this, Debbie, we're going to have to work through our fears this year. And as long as we're able to work through them, and an ego is never, well, no, honestly, that's not true. There is a good ego, but we deal mainly with the bad side of the ego. The healthy ego comes from when we stop the self-doubt talk, when we stop self-criticism, because what we're doing is, and people that aren't selfish, but they have to learn to be selfish because they need to put themselves first. That's the good side of ego. Because you're promoting you, but you're not promoting it in an egotistical way. You're promoting it so that you come first in the sense of your life. And that doesn't mean that you're knocking anyone else down during the process. It just means that you're not going to push the boulder up the hill for anyone else but you with your own life lessons that you need to learn.
That's really important what you just said about promoting self. People really, again, have a different illusion or a different thought process of what that actually means.
Yes.
You know, we can all share the spotlight together.
Yes.
We don't have to promote. Like Michael has us on the show and so gracious, and that's about sharing. That's about everybody sharing the spotlight. There's more than enough to go around.
And this is the quietest I've ever seen him.
Well, no, because
look at how engaged he looks. Like this is super interesting.
But what you guys were just talking about was, you know, those who tune into my Facebook page, I always do a morning gang. And the other day, I don't know if you read it, I wrote, some people were upset with me because they said I was self-centered. I said, I'm not self-centered. Would you rather for me to be you-centered? No. You know, and it was just copped in. Hold on one second. There's Rick. Hey, Rick. And then Carmine Lopez. We hope you are out of the snow. By the way, do you have snow in Chicago?
Well, of course, we sent it east. It was here first.
Right.
But there's really not too much. It seemed like there was a warm up, but I don't know. It's been very strange here. It's like, what is it right now? Let me look. I don't even know. You know, it's 29. It's hot. Like it's been -7. So 29 is but we're about to get
yeah, it's 64 in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we're about to get nailed here Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday. And Friday it looks like it's I mean, they're saying one model says 5 inches, the other says 16 inches. But what do I know? You know, sometimes size matters and sometimes it doesn't.
Right. When it's snow, it doesn't.
So no, actually, when it's
snowy, less is more.
No, it's like I like having, it's so much fun to have you guys on because listen, when I don't have to talk and you guys carry the conversation, people want to hear you guys. I'm just the orchestra leader here.
Oh God, I forgot to share this. Wait, let me share this. Do you want me to share this from Esther's page? I'm like not even sharing this on my page. What is wrong with me?
Nin, he's an X for a reason.
What's that?
On
my ex told me. My ex told me.
You know what I'd say? Bye, Felicia.
Thank God you love yourself. What is all that about? Like, thank God we
you-centered.
They're just
not
jealous. They're jealous because they don't love themselves. That's what I'm gonna say.
And you probably weren't giving him what he wanted or how he thought he should receive it.
Right.
And, you know, that's not your issue, it's his issue of acceptance. And that goes to self-doubt, fear, whatever.
What was on Esther's page, Deb?
No, I'm asking, where do you want me to share this? I haven't shared it yet. I need to share it. So I'm sharing it from Michael's page.
Oh, you're talking that you're on the show? What?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm live right now. I got it. I've got it on Michael's.
Okay.
I just didn't.
Either, both of them go because Esther, they're
Okay.
on Esther's page now, as well as they're
Yeah.
not on my. They're not
Yeah,
coming
they're
from
on your
my.
personal.
They're not coming from my
Oh,
personal page because it's on Esther's personal page and her other page. So yeah, but
okay.
it.
I'm sharing my. I'm learning how to,
You had me for
make
clumping for
total.
toots. I was like, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we got two, and now,
Well,
and I can't share this on my page yet. Anyway, I'll
it's
get there.
okay. It's okay. No, it's so weird. We were talking about the 222 because I've been talking to Lewis about it. Every time I turn around, 222 and 444 everywhere.
Ah,
I woke up this morning. I looked at my clock, 2:22 in the morning. I've saved it. I've been saving it every time I look, and it's not like it's going to be 222 in 3 minutes. No, that's not what happens. I look down and it's there. I look on my computer or it's there, or there's something that is 222 and 444.
And 222 is faith and harmony, and it also means that you're going to be ushering in a new era of life and fresh possibilities. So there's no coincidence that you've decided to crack open your Patron.
Well,
I'm
Patreon, and well, Deb kind of got me stirred up on that
yeah.
because she was updating her. Weren't you updating your Patreon account? Was it you or Corby? Was you? Who had the
me.
Patreon?
No, I don't have a Patreon.
Okay, that was Corby.
Um,
She was. It's, you have to understand. I have so many psychic mediums, gifted tarot, astrology people in my life. I can't remember who told me what. But yeah, it was Corby.
It was Corby.
Xander.
What?
Xander.
Oh,
It'd be
Xander's here.
easier for her to share if you didn't have so many personalities
All of my characters.
in his head and characters.
No, I was just stunned. I'm sure it's a clickbait. Rest in peace, Sylvester Stallone, but it's on YouTube. So I was like going, what is this? But obviously he's not dead because it would be flooding the news media right now. We're true. But no, it's just, it's like we were talking earlier before you came on, Deb. I was just like, I have such a calmness, even though right now everything's going around me.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. And go ahead.
I just remember something. Hold on. I just remember something. We had this discussion. I had this discussion with Deb, God, about a month ago. And we were talking about the PPP SBA loan. And I said to you, do you know what's going on? Do you have a feeling on it? And you really couldn't answer me. You didn't want to tell me, but you didn't have an answer. And it didn't go through at the last minute. Boom. And I remembered you were like, you couldn't put your cosmic thumb on it. And it was funny. So anyway.
Well, I said, okay, so I remember that because what I said was that the energy is really weird on that. And I don't see, because that's one thing, I don't predict the future in that same sense. I look at the energy around it. And I remember, now that you're bringing it up, that the energy did not look like it was going to come together, but I also didn't want to burst your bubble at that moment because we were having a wonderful discussion, and I didn't want to just say, "Yeah, Michael, I don't know." Like, I'd rather look at the energy because I really do come from a place that, depending on how we move forward, things can change. In that way, we can clear that energy, or the government energy can clear, because there's a lot of controls right now, and there's a lot of people around the globe that are working this energy, that are like actively working this energy to clear it. And so, when I look at energy, I mean, I have a client who started cryptocurrency. Right. And so I look at the energy of what's going on, and she checks in with me to help clear that energy periodically because of the controls, and whether they're government beings, like there's beings involved. So it's not just humans, but it's humans. And then there's spirits who are not guides. They're, well, some are freeloaders. Some are brought in and called in. There's a variety, but yeah, I do remember that, and didn't go through, huh? Yeah, it's just the energy of it, for whatever reason, looked however it looked best.
Yeah, no, it's fine
to me at the time.
No, it was just, and it was all bizarre all around it. And Angela said you were spot on, Deb. No, it
Thank
was
you,
just
Angela.
before you came on, we were talking about it because there was so much weirdness. Like they had for some reason, one of the reasons why they said no was, and they brought up Crazy Aunt Susie's sexy sex cast and politics as a drag. They brought that into the letter that they sent me. I don't know. Did you dig into my life and
Yeah,
then
they do.
you're trying to
Yeah, they do.
I think they were trying to label me as it was porn or something, which, the more to it than not. I didn't get it, not because of certain elements, but because of somebody being judgmental, but anyway, moving on.
That's human free will, which often interferes with people's forecasting.
Right. And that's a free will. That was one of the things that Deer talked about the other day. We were, all of you talk about free will, which is,
I'm talking about free will in a live stream tomorrow, by the way.
Really?
I haven't set the banner out. I have a whole, I have a whole notebook. Yes, I've been looking at the energy of free will. And again, what I was saying a little bit earlier about people have an illusion of what that is.
Right.
Free will doesn't mean run around, do whatever the heck you please.
No.
Right. No,
and
go ahead.
No, and that's a lot of times what people think is, well, I have free will. I could do whatever. No, that's not
It doesn't give you permission to get out of jail free.
Right.
Right.
Free will is very much about doing what you think is best at the time of the circumstances you're dealing with. And circumstances change, but can change by the minute. But your free will is hopefully tapping into your higher self to go and move forward. But most people, going back to someone else's comment about ego, that's the bad side of ego. And that's what they tap into. And then they use it as free will to change and challenge rather than to accept and grow.
So, okay, right here. So, somebody asked Deb, before we answer that question, do you have a YouTube channel you post on, Deb?
I actually do now that you can go to. It's and I changed the name so you can actually find it super easy. I think it's Spirit Light Insight. So I actually have it on my name, but my name's not showing on the bottom there. So, or maybe it's just because I don't have it full screen. I don't know. I wrote it. I have my name. I don't know.
I just stuck up Spirit Light Insight. I just put it up there for everybody.
And all of his personalities posted it for you.
All my personality.
Oh my God. I love the multiple person. Thank you. Who asked me that. Karen.
That was me.
Yeah. And you can also find me on, Facebook and Instagram, as well as Spirit Light Insight, or Debbie Tatel, whichever, pick one.
Right. Now, somebody asked this question. If you have multiple personalities like Michael, Esther, Paul, are there different energies for each?
Yes, there is.
Absolutely.
Your persona changes depending on who you're embodying.
What you mean, like Esther? Esther is has an energy.
Right. Yeah. Esther definitely has a different energy than Michael, even though there's elements that flow through your characters with Michael, but Esther gets away with things that Michael doesn't necessarily go towards.
Oh yeah, I can't. I mean,
and same with Susie.
Okay, I'm going to put this out there. I was in the gym. That's why I was on the treadmill this morning thinking of funny things. Okay, we've all heard Jews for Jesus. Yeah. It's hysterical. There's all these Jews for Jesus, but I had this idea this morning. Esther's going to join Jews for Jesus, but she pronounces it Jesus. You should see the people that are for Jews for Jesus. And I have these half-naked Latin men. Jews for Jesus. No, it's Jews for Jesus. Thought it would be kind of funny.
He wants a green card.
He wants a green card.
Right? Oh my God.
Karen F asked, is this where you're going live tomorrow on YouTube?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it'll be like 4:00 Central Time. I'll be putting stuff out. So
easy.
on that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, in order to get through, you need true. And 22, in order to get through,
Why
you need
not, Nikki?
multiple personalities.
Why not embrace it?
Okay, here it is. Okay, yeah, I see free will as that
This is really good. Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
it's a choose your story type situation. Are you going to go down the stairs to the basement? You're going to go to stay upstairs and cook some food. You're going to go run screaming.
Right. And
Yeah.
you know what? Like, and
Right.
even another example of that is if everyone's watched the Harry Potter movies where they're in the castle and the stairs move, that's what free will can do. You're walking up the stairs, but then all of a sudden the stairs move and you're going to a different direction. You're going to a different door that you weren't anticipating. And
I was trying to see where you were going with that, but yes, now I
you got it. Did you come for the ride? Did you get there with me?
I did.
Um,
Oh God.
Monty will take door number 1.
Yeah.
You got a camel toe.
That's so no, but yeah,
It was just. How did we get there?
but no, free will is, and that is that is what most people don't understand when they have readings, when they have tarot readings. You know, I mean, the two of you see it all the time. Well, how come it didn't happen tomorrow? Is this going to happen today? Or, you know, you say we've had this conversation whereas, you know, yeah, I see you're going to make a lot of money on this. Well, you don't sit back and wait for it to get deposited
Right.
in your bank
You
account.
still gotta hustle.
You still have to take the steps to
Right.
the steps to get
Just because
there. Also,
me or
just
Debbie
because
say
somebody
something,
Go ahead.
right,
Just-
and that also doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
It's what we see in that moment.
at that moment,
And you have the free will to change whatever
Right.
we just said. And if you get stuck on it, that's not me, that's not Lewis, that's not any other psychic. If you get stuck on that and just believe 100%, by the way, that's called programming.
right.
You are allowing that prediction or whatever that is to program you. And if you
Sounds
do
like
that,
I just went through that.
Because it's a form of self-sabotage because we know what it's like to
Right.
fail, but a lot of us don't understand how it is to truly succeed for our highest good.
Gotcha.
And I
Right.
always use this
Right.
analogy of if I tell you to turn right at a certain point and you decide to turn left, then anything I say past that will not make sense. It will not happen. But what I find and I've been doing readings professionally for 28, 29 years, that I always find that at some point they'll come back to that point that I was talking about. The situation and all that will be different, but the learning will still be there to have happen. They are going to have to
Right.
turn right. And
at
so
some point, or look
at
at
some
it at
point.
least.
right,
You have
And
to
so-
look at the energy.
right. And I don't know what Van means.
Hold on.
Delaney.
Fun FYI.
So
It's a crazy person, I think.
with the forecasting, you know, what Debbie and I do with forecasting for certain elements of your life, it's definitely what we see now for you. And I haven't discussed this with Debbie, but I'm sure that she's very much aligned with what I'm about to say. You know, I always look for the best scenario. And if I feel like someone is going to take me literally, that's when I will start to baby step them. That's when I'll be like, when you get to the rock, you have to turn left, then you can go 200 yards, and then you're going to see a greenhouse, and then you're going to turn right. Then you're going to go past the yard, the dogs will be barking, and then you're going to do this. Because I know that if I just say something, they're going to be like, well, why didn't it happen? Well, because you're sitting on your ass and doing nothing about it.
True.
And so, but people that understand
Thank you,
readers,
Karen.
you know, all that sort of thing. Don't forget about me, Karen. I have a YouTube channel as well.
Competition.
Oh,
I don't have any
Love you,
competition
Louis.
because
Never mind.
you know we all have our lane.
Yeah.
But you know, I think for what most people are going through right now is they want to be handheld, and that's okay. That's okay because there's a lot of uncertainty in this world. But again, it's going back to trusting yourself and doing what's right for your highest good.
Right.
And when you tap into that, you're getting out of your head, you're getting into your heart, and you're going, what is best for me at this moment? Is that playing a video game? Is that reading a book? Is that, getting out and reviewing my goals? Whatever the case may be, tap into that instead of going into fear and lack and being small. And then that way it's going to get you across the finish line in a much easier process, but you will still learn lessons. The lessons just won't be mountains. They'll be speed bumps.
Right. Somebody was asking yours. So I just said lewismaybe.com. You'll find the link.
Yeah.
For YouTube.
Yep.
Boop-a-doop.
So, but yeah.
Yeah. It's all now. I actually don't predict the future. I work with people's energy now. I do a lot of healing work, but I do read, let's say, their next step. Okay, this is what you're going to be working on. And so that can come to them in a variety of forms. It's not that I don't see the potential future. It depends. I actually look and gauge as a percentage. I'll look at how easily they can be programmed.
Mm-hmm.
And if I see that somebody's taking every word I say as God's truth, then I'm going to be a lot more general, just like Lewis was talking about. It's really quite something, to see a potential future. And I always do, research. I mean, I've done it for Michael how many times, and just kind of off the cuff and we say things. But again, that's also what free will is for. You have free will to make that choice, to go, you know what, my gut is telling me go this way, not that way.
Right.
And we all have that. We all have that niggly little voice in our head that says, maybe we should not go, here or there. I mean, I know it's led me to some pretty weird places, but that's like, welcome to being in my head. Like, hey, you know what? I think I should run this way, instead of that way.
Is that sort of like gut instinct?
You can call it gut instinct. You could call it intuition. You could call it your clairvoyance. It depends on how it comes to you. If it's kind of that, you know what, my gut's telling me to go here. That's like a feeling self space. Or you could say, you know what, there's a flashing over there. So it's kind of like something's going, come this way. Right. So then you're seeing it in that way. Well, for whatever reason, it could be a guide, it could be, whatever, any kind of energy. And then there's also, you know what, I just know I should go that way. So that's your knowingness. So what you're working with there actually are the second and third chakras, and then the sixth and seventh chakras, the energy bodies, right? And you're working well with those particular abilities, because there's so many abilities. So it's hard to say, well, if you get this, what is that? And it might be a combination of all of the above.
Right.
Yeah, Nin had talked about, the best career advice she had was just show up. It's true. Just show up.
100%.
If you don't show up, it's not going to happen.
Even if you show up and it's not your cup of tea, at least you tried it, or at least you investigated it.
Right.
There's no mistakes, because if my philosophy with my life, if it's meant to be, it won't pass you by. So even if it's not something that I should be doing long term, or even a week after, if something's popping up in front of me, and I do mean popping up in front of me, not something that's 10,000 kilometers away or miles away, I'm not going to pay attention to that. But if it's right here, I'm going to pay attention to it, and whether that be something that I need to learn to grow, or even if I just need to, even if it's just a reminder to say breathe and pause, then it's, I pay attention to it. And then when it's finished, whatever needs to be finished on, it will do what it needs to do. It will, go away. It will go in my backpack. I'll carry it with me for the rest of my life, or for 10 years or whatever. So yeah. Do you guys believe things?
Somebody said in my hot, Michael. What happened was my dog just ripped the most disgusting fart.
I was going to say, I think your dog farted.
Oh my God. I'm just like, I'm sitting here going, Champers, how could anything?
Yeah, name Champers.
But then somebody,
right?
but I was doing this, and somebody thought, you hot, Michael. It's like, no. So this is more important than my dog farting.
Yeah, Yvonne.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Like a lot of times your spirit guides, people that have passed away in your love, in your love connection, family, friends, whatever, they come to you for dreams. There's messages in dreams because that's the time that when we're sleeping, that we're not using our energies to focus on trying to make things make sense.
Mhm.
And so therefore we can download the message without it being diluted, or without, you going, you must mean green, so focus on green, and
Right.
that's not what
Right,
they're
right.
trying to get to at all. So absolutely, there's lots of messages in dreams.
Wow.
Yeah, we do a lot of processing on the astral
Yeah.
in that space. And you can actually teach yourself to retrieve all the messages. So it's great that you brought that up, because I used to have all these amazing dreams in color when I was younger and growing up. I mean, of course, I saw color everywhere, so it didn't matter. The grass was growing, it had an aura, I mean, I just saw that stuff. But in my dreams, when I was about 16, I decided to dreamwalk. I called it dreamwalking. I didn't know what it was,
Dreamwalking.
but I just decided that I wanted to remember my dreams to see what I was learning in my dreams.
Mm.
And so before I went to sleep, I would actually kind of put it out there, I'm going to remember my dreams, and I'm going to and it's not lucid dreaming. It's actually where you come back from the astral and bring the information in. So I was kind of setting that up to bring the information in and remember it. And the way I set it up was, I'm going to walk beside myself in each dream to see what I'm learning.
Mm.
And the
Somebody-
only rule is I can't change it. Like, I can't fix it and change it, because I want to just see what I'm learning.
Right.
And it was like, it didn't work for a short little while. And then I don't know how long it took me, but I would absolutely wake up the next day. I'd remember a boatload of my dreams. I would have to write them down right away, but I would
Mhm.
remember a bunch of my dreams. And I could tell you from, I think somebody had said there, I dream of my family and they're yelling at me.
Yelling at
So
me. Yeah.
if I was in that situation, I would know what I was supposed to learn from that dream, what I was processing in the body in that dream.
Yeah.
And to this day, I do it. And it's just fun for me, because
Yeah.
I'm very strange as a psychic. Like, I play with energy.
Right.
It's very fun to play with energy.
What were you going to say, Louis, about the?
Well, with Nikki about yelling, her family yelling, or Nikki's family yelling at one another. I mean, we don't know the whole context of the entire dream, but
Right.
that can mean a few things. Where if your family's yelling at you, that means that they're trying to get your attention regarding a topic that is of a family concern. Or it could also mean, depending on what's around in the dream, that they're yelling at you, but yet you need to maybe disconnect and tune certain things out within the family that isn't for you. So there needs to be a little bit of zhuzhing with what else is going on in the dream. And then with Nin, I was looking for
You didn't see me.
a relationship with now. Well, and you know what? The dream is probably just telling you, is giving you the thumbs up of keep it as is.
The validation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's a beautiful way of how your dreams can tell you things.
Now, is this okay? Angela in New Zealand, her dad died 19 years new missing. Can you feel the presence around us? And is that
Can
something?
we feel his presence around you, or?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, what she was trying to say there. Can you feel the presence around us? Yeah, it's like we talk about people who've passed away that are friends. Allie I feel her when she's kicking my ass sometimes and going, "You are such an asshole, Airington." I can hear it.
I think I called you when I called you last time, and you were in the midst of, you were about to do a film shoot and things like that. I don't know if you remember this, but I was like, Allie told me to call you. I don't know why. That was how we opened up the conversation, and then I ended up on your show.
Right.
I was like, Allie told me to call you, and then you had all this stuff, and we were on the phone for God knows how long.
Right.
And they pop in. Angela, I'd like to actually address, yes, you can feel presence. How I'm going to address, like with your dad, is you are experiencing a little bit of sadness from your father. That it's not just that you miss him, that when he left, the energy was that of almost like he was saying, I'm just kind of seeing the energy that he was saying, I'm sorry, I have to go. And that he was really in that space. And it looks like when you were a little girl, 3 or 4 years old, I see that something happened, and I don't know if he lost a loved one or something like that, but there's a picture that I see of him being very, very sad when you were 3 or 4, and you took on that sadness to try and heal him. And so sometimes when you sense your father, you're experiencing that sadness that he has. And when I look at him, he's actually left that space behind, and he's really healing so spirits do heal after they cross over, after they transition. They take time to heal. And he's still actually in a healing space for himself. So he may not come and chit chat with you quite yet, but he's getting, of course, as I'm talking, right, I'm starting to see him more clearly as he comes in. I don't know, are you noticing that, Lewis? The energy shifting, and as he's coming in, that he mostly,
I got goosebumps.
I want to know.
Yeah. So a lot of times when I address the spirit like that and I tune in, what happens is they have not been acknowledged. And when they are acknowledged in what they're healing, they start to get, let's say, validated as spirit, and they're able to release. It's like sort of a healing in that space. And because I'm starting to see him more clearly and more clearly, and he's stepping out of this sort of dark, it was like he was in this like dark hole or dark cloud. And as I'm saying hello, he's stepping out and he's showing up as a much younger man, just in his energy. So I don't know what he's getting ready to do, but he is stepping out of that. And just know he's okay. And the only thing I can really, really share is that he was saying he was sorry he had to leave when he did, but that was his agreement with God, and he was done here. And then he went to heal a bunch of stuff from current and past life.
Wow.
Hey, Barbara.
Interesting. Then there was Will.
What is it, Will? What are you looking for interpretation
Crazy
of?
time.
Yeah.
Xander, knocking means pay attention.
Yes. Xander was asking, pay attention.
Oh, wait, I missed it. Oh, knocking.
Knocking on the door. He gets up to answer. There's no one there. But Will, you gotta, if you want to help us, tell us what the interpretation.
I want to know who the man with the hat that's passed away, Angela. Yeah, and something to do with two fathers. So I'm not sure if you had someone else, a male figure that was also a fatherly figure that's also passed away. So
this is the Angela.
That's for Angela, yeah.
Right. Okay, just to let everybody know, we have two of the most amazing gifted psychic mediums on the show right now. And what happens is when one will start picking up and the other starts picking up, and I have goosebumps. When you were talking about Angela, I was like, whoa. So, we are very, oh, wait a minute, hold on. That's amazing. I missed him by minutes when he died. Wow. Yeah. So, so we are very, very lucky to have you two on here doing this. I mean, this always happens when you guys come on. It's all of a sudden people start asking these questions, and it's just such validation to so many.
Karen, you're not going to get your dad coming to you in your dreams. Your dad's not capable of doing that in that kind of physical way. But what he does come to you, and this is going to sound a little bit weird, but
is this for Karen?
Karen, yeah. But what he does, how he does show his presence to you is, like when you are looking out a window and the sun is coming in and you can see the dust particles in the sunlight through the window, that's one of the ways he comes to you. But he also comes to you with little whispers, and it's over your left ear. So and the whispers are not necessarily going to make sense to you, but it's almost like you feel like maybe an echo, or maybe they're definitely sent by your mom, Carol. A little echo, or just a little thing around where it's just like there's a sense of something else that you're done.
Somebody, you guys are like picking up all this stuff. These people are sending these questions. Like Carol said about 5 pennies randomly at job what they sent for my mom, and you like automatically right in the middle of that reading goes, oh yeah, they were.
Actually, that was the best, Louis. I was just like, yep, definitely, mom. I was like,
welcome to my world. There's only like
fun.
there's always a gang party going on with me.
Right. Will, we're still waiting to find out.
Well, right.
I'm gonna go have a cocktail with you at a bar.
Oh,
no.
Michael has a story about that.
No. When Louis comes to visit me, or we meet in LA, if we go out drinking, he starts picking up everybody in the room and what's going on in their minds. After a few cocktails, it's like he's like this satellite link to people's brains and their spiritual auras. It is such a trip and a half.
But Michael gets a trip out of it because he's like, what about that one? What about that one? What about that one?
I always picture the cute guys going, what's that cute guy thinking? And
so when guys used to hit on me, if I was going to a bar and like waiting for a friend, and I'd get hit on, and I would just tell them I was a clairvoyant, and they would be like, "What am I thinking?" And then after I've had a couple cocktails, I could tell them. No, I would tell them, and then I would tell them the issues that they were having. I watched more men run out of bars that were, hitting on me, like exclusive, pretty good ones too, like nice places.
Carol, tell your mom to
like,
send
I'm out of here.
Bills.
Right? Stop the pennies, Mom. I want $100 bill.
We don't even have pennies in Canada anymore, so.
Yeah, but isn't that like, isn't it like pennies from heaven? That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it, and I was, and I made the connection that it wasn't just the pennies, but the pennies from heaven, and that there was something when you were a little girl that she would talk about pennies from heaven. So that it's like new, like that you would know for sure what that is.
This crazy ass dog.
I just love that when I saw 5 pennies, I was like, "Ooh, it's like pennies from heaven." Yes, it is.
Well, Charles, welcome to the Mercury Retrograde Club. It's almost over though for this term.
What is it? I've never heard of Mercury. I've learned to drive in a Mercury Comet.
Well, okay, look at how long they last.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Will came, as Johnny Carson would say, Will came back. And okay, so it's pretty.
That's so good. Know, you need
that's
to
why
do that.
He wrote maybe that way.
Okay.
Have you seen Don't Look Up? Netflix. That's funny. And let's see, the dream always ends on impact.
Okay, because what that's signifying to you is that you need to write your next chapter. So you've been a good boy. You've been doing all of the pre stuff that your soul has written for you to accomplish. But you're one of the souls that have said, I'm going to leave a couple chapters open so that I can develop and grow in my human existence. And so therefore, that's why you wake up on impact, because now it's time for you to take control of your life. Not that you haven't before, but it's time for you to write your next story, your next chapter, bring everything beautiful and wonderful into your world that is going to propel you forward.
How are you two doing on time?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I took a shower just to get online.
What is this? I have
Can I send that? I don't know if I can do that. Can I send
What's that?
I don't know. I just sent a private message. You're welcome.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
We'll have a
Angela,
private chat too.
and there were a
Oh, you
couple,
said I
but I
got
don't
it.
know.
No.
I don't know how that
Angela.
works.
Oh no,
No,
you well,
it
you
went
sent
to
it to me.
us. It went to us.
Oh,
There's a private message
never
between us.
mind. I don't know. I don't know how to
Debbie
work
says
this
thank you,
one.
Angela.
Sorry. Thank you,
Giving-
Angela.
You are giving spirits
You're
a whole
giving
drinking and
spirits a whole.
sucking out men.
Yes.
It's true. That's why
Yeah,
that's
it's true.
what Lewis does. Oh, hold on. My leg was asleep. So I was turning it around here. But yeah, no, that's what we do. Like when you were on your vacation a couple of weeks ago and in that place with lots of palm trees and oceans,
Yeah.
I said, you call me, I go, what are you doing? You sent me a picture of a cocktail. I said, are you picking up everybody?
Yeah.
What's going on? Are you picking up people's brains and down there on the tropical island? And he goes, yes. And then I didn't hear from him for 2 days. So I knew.
Problem with that is you pick up the tourists, but you also pick up like the native beings,
I
like
do
from
that when I'm
the
sober.
land and from what was that?
I do that when I'm sober. It's just more fun when I'm
Oh
drunk.
yeah, it's just everybody. Well, yeah, because yeah, I get that.
Okay,
I
Karen,
do get that.
you seem to have been with many people when they crossed over.
Which is part of Karen's thing.
Really?
Karen's supposed
I was
be
going to
with
mention
people
that
helping
earlier.
transition.
Yes,
So
you help people transition.
yeah. It's always a struggle in my dream. I was also with him when he crossed over. Well, that's because he struggled to pass. I don't think he was afraid of dying per se, but I feel like he was afraid to leave you. So there was an inner conflict of, did I wrap up my life properly on a subconscious spiritual level with him? But he's totally fine. He's gone fishing, not literally, but he's gone fishing and he's in a happy place. But I feel like the dream struggle for you is more so about something to do with like just finding a kind of peace, not that you have to hi Tammy, not that you have to like make peace, because I think you've already done that with his passing, but I think it's more so about forgiveness on yourself because you couldn't help him out more, or that you think that you might have not done something that you could have. He's totally cool. He is fine. Make peace that the transition was purposeful and that he got what he needed to get. And it's very much more so about, I feel like the dreaming is for you to heal.
Nan, are you being serious? I want to know. I'm reading your question about the.
I call that clair odeur.
Claire,
Clair odeur.
Hold on.
Odoriferous.
There we go.
Yes.
I smell a man's cologne randomly in my house. Happens here too. It's cool. No
It
one else.
actually is a thing. That
It is a
actually
thing?
is a thing.
Okay.
That yes, it is a thing. It's very odd. I don't remember what it's called, but there actually is a psychic ability that is called that you well, that's clear feeling. The sentient is the feeling self, but there is a clear, like where you can smell some of the energy of people who have crossed over, or spirits are in there.
Is it Axe body spray or is it that Old Spice kind of aftershave?
Yeah, I was going to ask about Old Spice.
Aquavelva. Yeah.
High karate.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It came with instructions. Remember that? God, I'm really dating myself.
I mean, you probably lost your mind for not being with your mom when she transitioned.
She said, hold on. She actually said that. I was not.
She's good. She's knitting. She's knitting. So she's good. And she keeps looking up and she said, and looks down and so.
I see exactly that, by the way. I saw exactly that she would look up and go, like to kind of to the side, almost like where she'd be like, yes, and then back to her thing, and then
Interesting.
Exactly the same thing.
Somebody wrote axe can be overwhelming. He was born, she said he was born in the 70s, so it could be high karate.
It was probably Aquavelva or something like that. Yeah. Oh. And I mean, axe smells like it's medicinal anyway.
Because remember, Nin, there's something about an Aquavelva man.
Oh my Lord!
Remember that commercial?
I do.
An Aquavelva.
I actually do remember that one.
It's So silly. Okay, hi karate. Yep, you guys are cracking me up, but it's true. It's true. There was some crazy. I mean, did they still have his? Now colognes have gone to, Givenchy,
Eau de toilette.
Eau de Toilette, Dolce and Gabbana. I mean, they're fancy. Do they still make the cheap colognes like back in the?
They do,
Well, they
but
do,
they're
they just
like Bath
rebrand
and
it.
Body Works, and they call them body sprays now.
Oh, yeah, the rip off
Right?
smell like the other
It's
ones.
it's the package, the repackaging of, everything. Everything cycles. But do people actually wear? Well, yeah, they do. Never
What?
mind.
Is Barbara still on?
I was going to say,
Barbara who?
But DeBella, is she still on?
Barbara DeBella, are you still here? Checking in.
When I was at her place, my last visit, her mom came through about something, and I forget what it was though. But it was definitely something that was different than how her mom normally comes through and have messages. So
Barbara and Janet DeBella are
you remember what
friends of mine.
Barbara has
Yes, she is. She says
she has
she's
a
here.
memory like no tomorrow, and so she'll be able to tell the story. I can't remember. I just remember that her mom was connecting. Oh yes, and Barbara.
Hey, Barbara Rue.
My other Barbara from Canada.
Barbara Rue lives in Maryland.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. But Barbara DeBella, her father, Barbara and Janet, their dad was Joe DeBella, the famous makeup artist.
Brothers.
I mean, he did everything. He was Katharine Hepburn's makeup person.
Yeah.
He used to splatter it on all the time. But he was fabulous.
Okay, I think you were just channeling her. That wasn't even just a voice. That was just a channeling.
Who, Katharine Hepburn?
Yes, you.
Oh, grow up, can we talk? Talk about you, baby.
Let's bring all the dead people back.
I told you that was one of the bits of my show I was writing, which was
they still do, Chuck.
No, I was actually going to do the Pushing Up Daisies tour, which is I figured how the hell do I do all the dead people? How do I do all the dead people in my show, without dating myself? So I came up with this.
Well, you're older than Jesus or Jesus.
I know.
So
I came up with this idea to do a seance. I came up with this idea to do a seance in my show, and we were putting it together. And Ester has an Asian Japanese psychic named Kuz E. And I was talking to my Kuz. My Kuz talks to me, and she says, Esther, ever since your Jew ass came on the Las Vegas Strip, you are a magnet for the dead celebrities that are still flying up and down the boulevard thinking that they're working. So what we do is the whole idea, the concept was my show was to have the audience, the people at the front were going to put their fingers on the rim of the stage. They were my rimmers. And so we had the rimmers, and then she had a seance, and then a la Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost, Esther's like, all of a sudden she's talking like this, and then all of a sudden she's Elvis. Wise men say, and then all of a sudden, she gets taken over by Katharine Hepburn, Joan Rivers, Carol Channing, Mr. Vandergelder, I swear. But anyway, that's what I was doing. So I wasn't.
An angel just got their wings somewhere.
Oh yeah, that would be my story.
Oh, was that you?
That's
you got
me.
Your wings?
So my iPhone text messages are coming through my computer.
Okay, Barbara just said.
Yes, it is Barbara. The black and whites.
Yeah. And you said Angel got your wigs. I thought you wanted me to do Jimmy Stewart. Well, yeah. Well, the answer, yeah. Never mind. Anyway.
There was someone that want Tammy.
I love my dad. I'd love my dad to come through. Dad, Tammy.
His thing around this is like, why don't you think I'm around you? Like he is, besides coming out and going boo to you, he gives and sends you messages and signals all the time. Like he would basically keep you up at night if you were actually able to focus on him. And that doesn't mean you can't focus on him. It just means that he's subtle. Like, so he's not going to go boo, but he's always around you, always, 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 always. And he's saying to me, stop making forks in the road for yourself. So there's some sort of struggle that you're constantly going through or dealing with that I'm not saying it's, or he's not saying either that it's your fault per se, but it's like, stop focusing on the stuff that you shouldn't be focusing on, because that's what's making these crossroads for you. And he's like, you're stronger than you think you are. And he comes with glints. He comes with flashes out of the corner of your eye. You turn around, there's nothing there. That's him. He's also something to do with near the floor. When you look down, I don't know what he's trying to get me to look at, but when you look down, but yet, I don't know, there's just something there where it's like he wants you to look down, and it's another sign that he's around you. And birds are singing. That's a hymn.
Can I add to that?
I knew it. I'm
Because
watching you. I'm watching you. I'm watching.
Yeah,
watching
I
her
got it.
face.
I'm like watching it. I'm like, I'm just going to wait till Lewis is finished because I want to add. Part of what I'm seeing, Tammy, is that you are super, super busy. You're going here, you're going there. Your attention is on this, that, and the other thing, and it's all, that was perfect. Like it's all over, and that while you're in your head thinking 10 steps forward because you're going 10 steps back, and trying to go in all these different directions, that you are missing his voice, his messages, and also, it's interesting you said look down. I saw that as to settle for, just sit down for a minute, give yourself a breath, and just be in that space, that you don't need to do all these different things. You don't have to scatter your energy about in all these different places. And that when you do that, you're going to even find clarity in your own life, not just with communication with your father, Tammy, but with your own direction, your own purpose, fulfilling, what you came here to do. And by the way, you are super sensitive and do see things. And that's part of the challenge. That's one of the reasons why it's like you're going all around and doing 10,000 different things. Well, not just right this second, but all the time. Right. It's all the time.
And you just might think of it as cleaning and organizing, taking care of hubby, but it's
right.
Some people can't tie their shoes. That's
why I wear loafers.
That's a lot. That's why I wear and also you're handling all that energy from your hubby and the dog. So you're doing all lots.
You have two strong.
Thank you, Angela.
Carol.
Well,
your mother and your grandmother on your mom's side.
Wow.
Very strong.
You two, this has been absolutely fun. I'm just like,
I love tag teaming with you, Lewis.
I know the two of you work so cool together. It really, it's so cool to do that. Because Lewis is usually always by himself. He's always usually, and to see him work with somebody is kind of cool. And I'm just like,
we do play well with others.
You really do, and some don't. So
no, don't.
I'm very particular about the people I play with too.
Right.
So
yeah, she is, and but that's why, like, I created the little secret, the psychic portal that I created for you guys to work with. But yeah,
I love that. I know I need to get on there and say hello more.
I am trying to. I don't know if I'm going to be. I don't think I'm going to be under the weather, but I have an for everybody that knows. I have an operation on Tuesday morning, and
tubes tied.
I'm getting my tubes tied. But no, I have an inguinal hernia, which is right in the groin. And so they have to put the mesh on it and push it back in. It's not like the major hernia that's like people get in their stomach that keeps them down forever. So I have to go in I go in at 5 o'clock morning. They do the surgery at 7:30 and I'm supposed to leave by 9:30 and go back home. So I don't know how.
Would you like me to hold space for that?
What do you mean?
No, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'm a healer.
Yeah.
Hold space. I hold space to keep all the the space grounded and centered and in alignment with your goals. And
Awesome. Yes.
that's what I do.
Making sure that all the people are doing their job properly and sanitizing
Right.
things so you don't get an
And
infection
yeah.
afterwards.
But anyway, so I'm hoping they're saying it's not that, I mean, it's a big deal, but at the same time, it's I might be, I don't know if I'll be doing a show on Wednesday, or Thursday, but we'll see. I mean, because usually I do Ester in the middle of the week, so I have to put on the makeup, the wig, and the hair and all that stuff. But I still might do it, anyway. But so that's kind of cool.
Well,
So,
we're all keeping you in our thoughts on Tuesday.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
It'll be fine.
it is just.
You're like Cher. You're never gonna die.
I know people. I told you I walked to this woman the other day. She goes, I was telling Lewis earlier, I was walking the dog, and this woman, these two girls walked by. She goes, "You're so handsome." I go, "Well, thank you." She goes, "How old are you?" And I said, "I'm over 50."
96.
And in dog years. And she looked at me, she goes, "Honey, you look like you're like 45 years old. You look fine." I said, "Well, thank you. You're my new best friend." Now, I'm one of those people. I told you, I stopped the Botox and all of that shy stuff. Oh, it's been over a year now. And I just said, for right now, I'm happy. I don't need it. I still think I might do this though. Get that done. But anyway, oh shit, wrong music. There we go.
That was so good.
Well, I wanted to have good vibing music to lead out the show. Everybody, give it up for Debbie and Lewis for being
Thank
generous.
you for having me again. That was awesome.
What we're talking is generous of your time to just come on and do this. Everybody signed up. Everybody who didn't have you before is signed up on YouTube, and everybody's hopefully they'll watch it. And you have your show tomorrow and everything.
Yes,
And
and
I'm working on connecting
4
the
o'clock
dots.
or 4:30 Central.
There you go. I'm going to put the information at the end of the show on the YouTube link. Anyway, this is me.
Bye, everyone.
Heading out. Lewis, Deb, thank you again. And until next time, re-rock. Look at that. 3 white people rocking.
Sad to 1970s music.
There we go.
Here's to Aquavelva.
It is. Here's to high karate. Canoe. Bye, everybody.